All right, boom, we're back. Squeeze the Neck podcast, and today,
sorry. Are we on it
yeah,
now?
I'll introduce you.
Yeah,
whatever. We'll literally bring it on, take it off, whatever you like. Today we are Ringtone Boxing Gym, Warren Street or Euston, what we call it?
In between.
In between Euston and Warren Street. I got off at Warren Street. He asked me if I got off at Euston. There you go.
It is what it is.
My new mate, Ben the Entertainer Dave. Bash!
Bring it
Thank
in,
you very much.
bring
I appreciate it.
Bring it in.
So, for anyone who's watching this, might think we've known each other for a long time by that intro, but I just met him, got a great energy, everything's buzzing. So
always
former Southern Area champion,
Masters and Southern Area champion,
boxer, no amateur career, which you told me when we were sharing old war
stories.
Not
a single thing, didn't know what I was doing.
Boom, let's get into that, mate.
Right.
Tell us, before we get into any of that, actually, let's go back. Where are you from originally?
Rate me, Devon.
Oh, Devon, no, you're one of them. You're one of those.
Devon, a carrot cruncher.
That's the word I was looking for.
We knock out cows, mate.
There you go. Is that what you do?
Brought up in Devon, going deep. So I was homeless at 15 years of age. Father passed. Mum kicked me onto the streets. Thanks, Mum, bitch. Still love you. I'm allowed to swear on this. No. But as I said, I'm blessed that she did it. Mm-hmm. I'm blessed. People look at it like, what? You're homeless and you were so young, and it's like, I can. You become self-reliant at such an early age. It gives you that strength to. If you heard of the phoenix rising from the ashes, yes. when you lose everything and you're rock bottom, and then you rise and you think differently from most people.
Right.
You know, like there's no fear in anything. You just go for what you want. You know, and people go, poor you. No, not poor me. Thank you, Mum. Because if it wasn't for my mum, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have my own gym for 16 years. I wouldn't have jumped into a boxing ring after only 2 white collar fights and gone on to do what I did.
That's done. Yeah, wow.
And so, to continue.
As we said when I first came in and you asked me about my ears, thanks, mate. I'm not conscious about it.
I'm going to chew your ears off in a minute.
But I was quick to say, I was a boxer first, amateur this and blah blah, and then like we got chatting, and you said as you just repeated then, like no amateur bouts, which we'll come to because is amazing in itself.
Thank you. Yeah.
But let's go back further. Right. You said your dad passed early and your mum kicked you out. Can we talk about that?
So
like,
what happened there? I didn't know much of my dad. He was an alcoholic. Didn't know much about him really. He was in and out of my life. I don't. There's no. I'm not hurt in any sense because I've had alcohol, drug problems, as in prescription drugs and alcohol. I go to AA meetings now. Mm-hmm. And so I hold no, anything in my heart, but people back in them days as well. It's different now, where you've got mental health, and I've had psychotherapy for years. Back then, there was no such thing. Man up, get on with it. No, I am a man. I am a man, mate. I'll knock you out, mate. I'm a man. Homeless at 15, I'm a man. But depression or being diagnosed with bipolar disorder, in bed for 9 months. Wanted to kill myself, that's a condition, it's an illness.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But going back to where we were, what causes the ADHD and the bipolar disorder is a traumatic and abusive upbringing and childhood. So yeah, my mum kicked me onto the streets. Like I said, I bless her for it because it's brought me to where I am today, and having this gym for 16 years, where 5 gyms in the area have shut. There's a difference between an owner and a manager. Managers get a new job. Owners, you got, and also that. Thanks, Mum. Again, that grit, that will, the determination to keep going. 3 years, no income. There's a Greek word for passion, which means to suffer. If you're passionate about something, you're going to suffer. But you just keep going. You keep biting on that gum shield. And people say, boxing's hard. No. Boxing's the fun bit. Try and being homeless at 15 with no parents and trying to get out of bed for 9 months, looking at the curtain, want to kill yourself every night. Try that shit and tell me boxing's the fun bit. That's the entertainment, mate. That's the sexy shit. You know what I mean?
It's a mystery where you got your nickname from, isn't it? The Entertainer. I can't work it out myself.
Neither can I. But now I'm the entertainer. So
right, but exactly right. But you, like you said there, like the boxing.
Got to do that twice. The ADHD
we did. That was a
shit.
bit of a bad one. That one as well. When it was a bit
Turn over.
Shout out to Kieran, my mate Kieran. The other day he did a fist bump. I won't say.
Go on, Kieran.
But he did one of these. Go for the fist bump. He kind of missed it, and the guy walked off, and he was kind of like. And I was
do you know what? I've got a new one. You know when you high five someone, aim for the elbow. Do this.
Do that for the elbow.
aim for the elbow.
Oh, aim for
and then you
I see what you're doing.
So
Very good.
Tell him to,
there you go. Aim for the elbow next time, Kieran.
Yeah.
Get your game up,
Kieran,
son.
sort your life out.
Get your game up.
Don't even know you, but...
Yeah, exactly. We'll get you on. He's been on here. I'll show you the episode. He's a great guy.
Great stuff.
Kieran, shout out, mate. Help
Shout
me out
out.
recently. I'll see you tonight at the fights, by the way. But
Let's
not
go.
tonight when this comes out.
Later.
There you go.
Let's go.
We digress. But like 14 years old, or sorry, 15.
Ish.
14, 15. I mean, you're a baby, aren't you? It's a
well,
kid,
especially
you know?
like even now, what am I? I don't even care. 46, I don't know. One hair on my chest. I'm Benjamin Button. I'm reversing the age cycle. So when I was 15, I looked about 9 or 10.
Right.
I'm
So
getting a bit emotional now, actually, to be being honest. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, mate, I was a child. What parent, kicks their child, and for no reason, everyone goes, what did you do? I did nothing. I was a good kid, but my mum, obviously, I found out later on that she, like her gran would want, so my gran, bless her heart, wanted a boy. So she was affected by that.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So I can empathise with it, and so I don't, there's no, I'm not saying my grand's nasty, but and then, like I said, back then, it's
different times,
coldness, maybe not enough cuddles. As soon as you come in, I cuddled you twice, didn't I?
3 times, I think it was.
A lady.
Someone come and save me today.
Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, there you go.
Free some magic number down the soul, right?
Well, this might be a good time to talk about the wall, because you've got pictures of everyone on the wall.
They got pictures with me.
There you go. That's you did correct me on that earlier. But sorry, I interrupted.
No. Where were we?
14. Not mum's fault.
Yeah.
Grandma.
And somehow, a friend of mine was saying, "What's the matter, Ben? He's a loser and all that." And that hurt a bit. And one of my mates said, "He's not. He's just, look what's happened to him. Do you know what I mean? It's not his fault. It's, get into London, So I got to London. I was doing dry lining.
Okay.
Your walls and ceilings.
Yeah. I used to work on exhibitions laying floors, so I know exactly where you are.
Tough, innit?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're doing.
Tough work.
We had to wait for them. I was going to call them something. We had to wait for those people.
Yeah,
because if you cut one of their linens, forget it. It's over.
Know, yeah,
it's over. Forget it. But again,
I understand. I've been there, done it, and I was probably the one that cut it. But but I always thought I was going to be a qualified carpenter as well. But I always thought I was going to be a carpenter. But I've learned it wasn't to be a carpenter or a builder. It was to build my own gym. So. So where were we? We was back at...
You just come to London?
Just come to London. I was £3 an hour, 12 hours a day, and then going back home at weekends, and then, mate, damn hard. And then I just basically stayed up here. Like, I was just like, what's the point of going back?
Really?
Do you know what I mean? I stayed up here,
And what was you going back for? Was you homeless at this point when you going back?
Yeah, so there's no point. So, but I had digs up here.
Right.
So, when you've got digs and staying in their caravan and working with my mate's father, Anthony McFall, shout out, kind of turned my life around really, because I would still, where I would have been, I wouldn't have been here with you, and your life would have been fucked without me.
I was going to say, you basically made it now, you're on here, you know what I mean? Like all them years of graft, you're on squeeze the neck now.
You know, squeeze the neck. Why'd you neck it? I'm a grafter, but I wasn't very good, but it served the purpose to build this, and just on the building sites. I was the first one as well, after going to college, getting, I'm so shit at carpentry. Once I put a cat flap at the top of the door, not the bottom, mate. It was some cat, I tell you. I wouldn't say it was useless, but I'm glad I wasn't that very good, because it wasn't where I was meant to be.
Right.
I was on £1,500 a week.
Ow.
A week, £2,000 a week sometimes.
At what age are we talking?
Then not that young. That was probably 20 years ago. Right?
Still pretty young, right?
Well, I'm 46, so I'll probably,
26 is pretty young to me.
A lot of money. Right money, wrong age. Right. Especially when you're dysfunctional mother, dysfunctional in you're just a fuck, it's a car crash.
Yeah. So when you say you kicked out at 15, right? Like, did you have contact with your mum after that, or was that?
No, it was a long time. I took myself to psychotherapy. So what I always say to people, talk to people. No. Talk to professionals, because your mates might mean well, right? And but you could get some people say give up boxing, or your mental health's not right. Don't do this, don't do that. You're not in the right space to do that. But they don't professionally know how to treat someone and what to say at the right times, and it could put you, which it did, even more in bed and under the covers. Do you know what I mean? So when people say talk, no, in my opinion, talk to professionals because they know that's what they do. So I'm responsible for me. So whatever ever happens to me, right, in my childhood and all that, I can only blame myself for so long. Then I take responsibility. So I've done 18 years of psychotherapy and paid for it all myself to be a better person. Don't work hard on others, work on yourself.
Well, I think that's a good point because like, you're certainly not someone who comes across like you're feeling sorry for yourself, which a lot of people have had a lot easier ride than you. They do, don't they?
I've only told you 2%.
I was going to say, I know, fights are on tonight.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, right? But like how did you get into boxing? Because you said before that you said your plan was always to build a gym.
That's right. So look, I'm not. Look, I played for Torquay youth. I got 2 golds in the nationals for judo. I just didn't jump into sport, which is another thing I blessed my mum for because I didn't at the time. Because I was so angry, I didn't see the goodness that she did. She took me to the gyms, and I won everything at school: 1,500 meters, 3,000 meters, sprints from and the district level from 0 to when she kicked me out. Right. And then I run to the pub. But I still got records back there now.
Is it really?
Yeah. So it's not as if like. I just jumped into it. I'm just great at sport. I could have chosen any sport, and I'm not giving it the big one because I'm useless at a computer. Useless, and I'm good. I'm glad I'm useless. But I've always said, don't build your business, build people, and people build your business.
That's interesting.
So yeah, I 17 years of a business, and I haven't. And I've obviously I've got my wonderful partner Nerisse. I've been with 25 years, and I have one for her. And I make up quotes. Behind every successful man is a good woman. I know she's not behind me, she's by the side of me or in front of me. Right. I wouldn't be nothing. And I say that nothing without her. Nothing. Like, I'm a bit hard on myself, but getting emotional. I couldn't have done it without her. Right. You know, she let me follow my dreams and she, open up the business and she believed in me when no one else did. Turn pro, Ben. Do it.
That's big, isn't it? That's big because how many people do you know in life in general,
none.
Especially in boxing, how many people have got another half that drives them fucking mental and pulls them out?
And not only that, just says like, concentrate on getting money, Ben. Yeah. We need money. But she says, follow your dreams. And it's not so, but she believed in me because she knows I wouldn't either take a fight. I made one mistake I made, I'll talk about that. But I wouldn't, I'm not an idiot. Like the Ben Murphy, you had a Ben Murphy. Yeah, of course, yeah. Tough! I wouldn't fight him. I'm not scared. I'm not stupid. Do you know what I mean? She believes in me and my skills, and she just believes in me. So I just, she knows I can do it, I can still do it.
So. She ain't got a sister, has she? Spare. You sold her.
Hey. She sells herself.
Exactly.
Good woman, mate. Good woman.
That's good. But it's important, man, because like as you said, notoriously hard business starting a gym too, isn't it? Like that's one of the things. If you want to go broke, starting a gym is like one of the things you look at people and go, "Oh, bad choice, mate."
But doing it again, interrupted. But when people go, it's a risk. Guess what? It's a risk not to take a risk.
There you go.
Right.
Someone said to me once, being too safe is not safe.
There you go.
And when you're like, I was too young to appreciate it at the time, but as I'm getting older,
there you go. What you're running away from and what you're scared of, you got to run towards, mate. Do you know what I mean?
And like nothing more sort of relevant than a boxing career, right? So like, how did you take me back to boxing?
I got first man to be done. I'll quickly get this out. First man to be proud of myself. Breathalyzed on the building site. If this turns green, you're off site. Dark green, smoke started coming out of it and everything. They all loved me. I was kicked off site for a bit and they had to. Lost my driving license, rolled my car, done for drink driving twice.
Damn.
Don't judge. I don't, I don't, I would never drink drive again. Just different kid. I say kid, but just, I was messed, mate. What do you expect? Dysfunctional childhood, blah, 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 and all that. But a good kid, but we make mistakes, don't we? Joined a boxing gym, and the guy said, he's like, do some work on the gym. That's why I said, another quote of mine, I love my quotes. I'll give you one of my quote books. Never turn down a job too small, you don't know where it's going to lead. Once I used to sweep up in a boxing gym, now I own a boxing gym. Everyone was laughing at me for sweeping up in a boxing gym. Now I own one. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But going on to what I was saying, I bumped into a wonderful friend of mine, Mick Collier, which is the Southern Area Council. He was the chairman. He's the chairman. Very close. And we were training with each other, and it was like kind of like, you know, back then you were, you know, it was like I think you've got to have amateur fights now, but back then, you know, I was sparring like, you know, Anthony Small.
Yeah,
Anthony,
of course. Yeah.
Good fighter. He actually broke my nose.
Bigger than you too, right?
Much
quite,
bigger.
I was going to say a lot bigger than you.
I was in the gym 6 months.
Right.
And I was sparring the pros.
Yeah.
Right.
Damn. And what age are you at this point?
27.
Late in the day, isn't it, for boxing? Jesus Christ.
But early and right time for me.
Right.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Of course. I believe in that. I believe in that big time.
Imagine I did it before. I would have messed it all up.
Right, you weren't ready for it. Right.
Drinking, and God only gives God, whatever you believe in, universe only gives things to you when you're ready to take them on.
I believe in it.
For when you're ready to receive them and accept them. That's deep, and there's a lot of wisdom I've got from. Another quote. They say wisdom comes with age. No, it doesn't. It comes with experiences.
That's
right?
true. Yeah, it's
right?
true.
So where were we? So I thought I'd have a white collar fight. I was only in the gym a little bit. The guy turned up late, double the size of me, and I didn't even know what I was doing, you know?
Right.
Don't know how I got through it. A year later, I had another white collar fight, and a year later, it was like, well, go for your pro license. And I was like, what's that? I was like, all right, go for a pro license. Went for my pro license. First one was against Robin Deacon.
Damn.
And he was
Rocking
tough,
Robin.
Tough. And everyone's going, oh, he's had all these losses and that. No. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. Some might look at the early record of mine and go, oh, he had a load of losses. At that time, if you didn't get a win, right, you had your license taken away. So what they did, they tried even harder against me, because who are they going to get a win against? Someone that's had no amateur career, or someone, someone's that only had white collar fights, or someone that's a prospect.
Yeah.
They're going to try against me.
Of course they are.
So I battled my heart out. Thanks, Mum. I battled, the resilience of the homelessness and blah blah blah. So I went all the way. Then I started doing what I'm doing in the gym, in the ring, like doing all the flashy. Because you can't teach what you can add to my forte. You know, like Rod Julian, even Greg White. Shout out to Greg White, getting all the running in. Rod Julian. Greg White was with me a lot. You know, it's not so much what you do inside in the gym; it's what we do outside the gym. So Greg supported me in that sense. All the running and the training. We was up doing hill sprints, welly boots on a resistance band up Primrose Hill.
Yo.
No, tell me a fighter that done that. Now
Yo.
I'll go another level. You do that, I'll do it naked. I mean, with no socks on. You do that, I'll put a weighted jacket on. You won't beat me because of what I've been through.
Right.
All right. So where were we? Yeah, where were we?
You just beaten. Oh, you just fought Rockin' Robin.
Rocking
Deacon.
Robin Deacon, tough. Got through that. Went on to getting used to being in the ring now.
Sorry, how'd that fight go with Robin Deacon?
I won by 2 points, but it was tough. It was tough.
You glossed over that, but to win that fight on your debut is like.
And people, because he had 30 odd losses, everyone was like.
Doesn't matter. People don't
No,
understand
they don't
that.
get
They don't
it.
get it.
They don't
Unless
get
you've been
it.
around boxing, you don't
Yeah.
get it. Because, like, for example, you turning pro at the age you did with the, well, I was going to say experience,
No
experience,
experience.
right?
Thank you.
You get in there, you're, looked at by
I can't
everyone.
even remember it.
Well, you're going to be the next guy that has 50 losses.
Yeah,
aren't you? You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But the heart, will, and desire. I can't be beat. Can I swear? I can't be fucking beat, mate. You know, life has beaten me. Do you think that man's going to beat me? Nah, look, you can hear by my voice. No, not a chance in hell, mate.
How are you in the changing room? Because like fighters are notoriously nervous, even the toughest of
At
guys.
the beginning, nervous as hell when I heard the crowd.
You was, okay, yeah.
Mate, like I had an exhibition with Robin Deacon last year on the 17th, and actually he was in an oxygen mask because it was like I was trying to get my license back again, but flipped the ropes, done my Nassim stuff, and in my towards it, like my pro fights, I become the entertainer.
Right.
Mate, when you've been hit, everyone's a little bit nervous when you've been through what I've been through, this is my fun. This is my time to fucking shine. This is my fun bit. I ain't nervous. I'm my fans and my friends watching the sexy stuff. Mate, to go in and win a Masters without getting hit once, to go in and win a Southern Area title without getting hit once. Tell me anyone that's done that.
Roy Jones.
Yeah, well, yes.
It's the only thing that came to mind.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, and guess what? Roy Jones said to me, he reminds me of himself.
Damn.
Damn.
I mean, is that retired then? That's going out.
Look at me and Roy Jones.
Roy Jones
Safe
over there. Yeah, I've seen
FaceTiming.
it. FaceTime over there. There's another one somewhere, isn't there? I've seen you with your
everywhere.
Yeah.
I've done pads with Roy Jones. Sugar Ray Leonard said, Ben, the only man to know I can win a fight without. What did he say? I can win a fight without throwing a punch. That's what he said to me,
Damn.
Roy Jones Jr. Sorry, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Damn.
So to say it, all these guys, for them to say it, Prince Nassim Hamed, like, so my favourites of all time, Roy Jones Jr., Sugar Ray Leonard, and Nassim Hamed. Nassim Hamed's been here, and he was like...
Has he been here? Is he?
Yeah, he signed my wall, and he's been here a few times, and we'll connect. And it just like, you can't basically teach what you do. You can't, and even he said, Ben, you're just like, I don't want to sound like a prick, but you're amazing. And I'm getting it from all these people, and I'm like, how's this happened?
But do you know what? It's interesting you say that. The older I get, the more I think you can overcoach people, right? And there's a famous quote in there by Angelo Dundee when he was asked about Muhammad Ali. I'll butcher the quote, but something along the lines of
That's right.
when someone asked him how you train Ali, he basically said like, I'm smart enough to know to get out of his way and let him train himself.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think there's a lot to that, and especially like I don't teach kids much jiu-jitsu, but like I'll cover a class every now and then, and like that's hard work, right? But one thing I feel like you need
work
to
with
do
someone
is let them do it, because kids are talented, man. Some kids are talented, and sometimes you just
themselves.
got to step back and not show them too much. Give them a little something.
That's right.
Let them go.
Add to their arsenal.
Exactly.
Like, Alec Wilkie, he's got a really good structure. All right, Alec. Shout out to Alec. I was with him for a bit. He structured my when to sleep, when to rest, when to train, and the technical way. Rod Julian, a little bit different. Let me do what I did. Shout out to Rod. Helped me with my art. Helped me with just adding extra stuff to my arsenal. So everyone played a part. Like I said, Greg White, all the training and being there when I needed him at the dark. The hard times late at night, in the mornings, while someone was taking over, while he was running the gym for me, so I could jump out. Even a guy called Mark Rahman doing my strength and conditioning. Shout out to Mark Rahman for doing my strength and conditioning. Everyone played a part, and my partner to, help run the business and fucking let me do what I want to do, and be there when I get home, and because I haven't experienced all this. The amateurs, you're moody, you're ratty, you built up all this tension, and look, hands up, well, hands down. You might snap it now and again, and so she had to go through that of understanding, and I had to recognise that. Hang on a minute, Ben. Like, this isn't the real me, but it's just like it's something I've never experienced before. Do you know what I mean? You know?
That's it, because it's really interesting there, like when you're saying about how different coaches play their part, and what I find interesting is, as times are moving on, there's more coaches that are sort of willing to play their part versus back in the day, we've all been around coaches that it's this way.
My way or the highway.
But yes, my way or the highway, but also it doesn't matter if you're a big, long, gangly fighter or a short, stocky fighter, you train the same way. And it's obviously wrong, right? Do you know what I mean? Can't train Mike Tyson like you train Muhammad Ali, vice versa.
Or the entertainer.
Or the entertainer, there you go. I was going to say, or Roy Jones or the entertainer.
All the
same.
Sugar Ray Leonard,
mate, I say tomato, right?
Yeah.
But like when you go through your career, like, how many bouts did you end up having as a pro?
11
as a pro.
11.
And you said about applying for your license. Is this still relevant? You're still looking to fight?
Yeah, but like being Mick Collier being a very close friend of mine, he's like, Ben, like he can't do it. I've been out of the ring 8 years or whatever. Although I did have the rematch with Robin, flipped the ropes, and like I said, and now I've put on a bit of weight, and I know I have my time in, because even as a pro, I wasn't as good as I am now.
Right.
So I'll quickly say that you've got a car that's got 20,000 miles on the clock. You've got a car that's got 100,000 miles on the clock, right? I've only got 20,000 miles on the clock, but I'm an older person. So I'm bashing up people in the ring still and not getting hit, my reactions ain't gone. So I'm not I'm not normal.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But they can't really grant me a license, and it'd be hard for me to ask, and look, I wouldn't get one, but I don't care what anyone says. I've still got a shelf to fill. I made the shelf, won the bet, made the shelf, won the bet, made the shelf, pandemic. but anyway, I'm gonna apply for a foreign license, and I've still got a bit left.
So this is happening. This is still
100%.
As Rocky said, there's stuff in the basement.
We're in the basement.
We're in the basement
right?
too. Yeah.
Right, to get to the penthouse.
There you go.
Right?
I got you.
You need a good structure to get to the top.
And what was the reason you had? Because you said 8 years ago, you last bout 7, 8 years ago.
So
why'd you stop?
So what did I stop? So what happened when I fought Michael Devine, and I don't want to disrespect Michael Devine, not disrespect him. How can I put it? Like, he did what he had to do. I had a 2-week training camp. This is the truth. Guy that done a planning permission on this place was in intensive care. a school friend committed suicide. I was up and down from Devon, well underweight. I weighed in with all my clothes on, 2 mobile phones in my pocket. I was 135 lightweight, but I weighed at 131.
And you're how tall?
Well, we're short-staffed. No, I'm 5'9".
I was going to say, so tall for the weight anyway, and you're underweight.
Right. But I was on a vegan diet, plant-based diet, which I bless. I bless because the energy but I just got it wrong. Well, I didn't get it wrong. It was just things happened in my. I've always said, what happens outside, you take inside. I shouldn't have boxed. It was a 2-week camp, 2.5-week camp. He come in just on point. He probably put on 15 pounds. I lost weight the next day. This is truth. I got in doing all my stuff, got hit, right? First time on my arse. But don't forget, the weight differences at lightweight and heavyweight's different, right? But cruiserweight. But at these weights, there shouldn't be much in it, should it? Right?
Not
so
like
he could be 4 or 5 weight divisions above.
Yeah.
Dribbling now. And not Messi. And so I felt I got up straight away, as you do. Referee said walk forward. I walked forward like, I'm only inexperienced as well. I got my hands down, and I just walked forward, my hands down. You're meant to put your hands up apparently, and I walked forward and he called it off. Maybe it was good to call it off. I don't know. Then went into, not because of that, I went into a dark, deep depression, alcohol, drugs, and all that crap. Prescription drug, Valiums, and alcohol, and then I in bed for 7 months, 8 months, something like that. Wanted to end it every night, and it wasn't just because of what happened. It was finally by being diagnosed with bipolar and ADHD. Bipolar is mood, and ADHD is behaviour. Okay. So they're different. The moods were high to low.
Right.
But I go high, manic episodes where you can't sleep for 6 weeks, but you're very creative and intelligent, and it's overwhelming. But the poetry, and then you go low. The Greeks think it's a gift from God because you go so low, you come back with more resilience and empathy. And I just want to quickly touch on something that I've earned hundreds of thousands of pounds for charity. We were in Buckingham Palace, and we got invited because I'm getting emotional because all the charity work